Good afternoon. This is Janet Quinn. This is KSQD Santa Cruz, your community radio at 90.7 FM. This afternoon, we're talking with Elaine Johnson, Executive Director of Housing Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit organization that advocates for affordable housing. So from an early age, Elaine's worked to create positive change in her community with her extensive experience working in restorative justice, working in multiple organizations, fundraising, community outreach, and collaboration. And Elaine currently serves on several local boards, including Monarch Services, Encompass Community Services, and Community Action Board, and was recently elected president of the NAACP Santa Cruz County Branch. She's passionate about advocating for affordable housing and creating positive change in this community. So today, we'll be hearing about a really impressive series of events throughout Santa Cruz County this month during May Affordable Housing Month. So welcome, Elaine.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks for being with us. And so first, I want to ask, so why is it so important for us to come out to these events and learn more about building affordable housing?
Thank you so much, Janet. Yes, May is Affordable Housing Month in Santa Cruz County, and Housing Santa Cruz County is hosting a wide range of events because it is important for the community to know that, housing, everyone is impacted by housing. There's no specific organization or group of people that are impacted. We're all impacted by housing. And so for the month of May, we bring all these different events to the community so that the community can come together, engage, learn, get educated on things they may not know, so that they can step up, because right now it's a call of action. It's a call of action big time. We've had a lot of things going on in our county, which is, specifically the floods that happened in South County, which we lost homes there. The time is now for us to start, stepping up and stepping into our power, stepping into our boldness and saying, what can we do as a community to bring about affordable housing here so that everyone has a safe, stable place to call home. Everyone. And that we can't do that alone. We need everyone to do that. And so this month is a call of action. But it doesn't stop in May. This is just the beginning.
Thank you, Elaine. Yeah, so tell us, tonight we're having this very impressive film showing. So tell us about that.
Yes, this evening there's going to be a film showing at 7 o'clock at the Resource Center for Nonviolence, and we thank them for opening their home to us this evening. The focus will be on gentrification, and I invite people to come on out and check out it's a film, and then it's going to have some speakers afterwards. I know one of my board members, Gretchen, will be one of the speakers. She's a rural attorney that she in this community for the last 40 years. But I invite people to do that. And we have a big event coming up on Saturday, Affordable Housing Month kickoff event. That'll be at Cabrillo College this Saturday from 12:30 to 3:30. We have an amazing lineup of speakers that we're actually flying in from Los Angeles. Our keynote speaker, he's going to speak with us on policy and affordable housing and how we can get involved. And we have also an author of a children's book. And even though it's a children's book, trust me, I've read the book about 10 times already because it really it impacts all of us. And the book is focused on a young child who's watching her best friend become unhoused, because they can't afford to live where they're at. And so I know a lot of our children in our community are impacted and walk around with that fear of, will their parents have enough money to pay the rent this month? And so she's going to be coming in as well from the Bay Area, and we're going to have a children's corner, but I invite the adults to sit and join us as well as we read the book and as we dive deep, and we'll have the children and adults color and talk about what those impacts may be. What are some of those fears they may be walking around with that we don't even know that they're walking around with.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's see, that is Saturday, May 6th.
Yes.
12:30 to 3:30 at Cabrillo College Sampler Recital Hall. Is there a charge for that?
No, it's a free event. free event, and it's family friendly. So I invite everyone to come. Bring your children. It's going to be a really wonderful time. We're going to have music, food trucks. We have about 16 to 17 community partners that will be tabling as well. So if there's any questions you have about, like, Housing Authority will be there, Homeless Garden Project, Community Action Board, the Planning Department of the county, and there's, probably an additional 10, 11 more. So you get that opportunity to ask questions firsthand of any questions you may have about housing vouchers, how we can get support. Our community partners will be there to answer your questions and give you some nice swag as well.
And then if people are looking for affordable housing, is that a place where they might be able to get information about that?
Yes, because I know, like, right now there's right up the street, actually, from my house on Capitola Road, they're now taking applications for the homes that are going to be opening up, where Dientes and the medical building was at 1500 Capitola Road was just opened up. And now applications are being accepted this week for the 52 units in the back. And so, it's a place where people can get their questions answered, find out what projects are going to be built, what projects are in the works, what projects that we're still navigating through. It'll be very, very informative. So I invite the whole community to come if they can.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So do you know, is there a central place where people can apply to be on a list for these units that are coming up, or is it through Housing Authority, or how does that work?
Well, it depends on who's developed it. The Housing Authority has many programs that you can get information for around housing. I know they do the housing vouchers. I mean, they have a wealth of programs. I know Community Action Board can direct people to get housing. I want to give a shout out to United Way and their 211, because that directory can navigate you to so many different things, and housing is one of the big ones. And so, there's different organizations offer different things, but they're the same things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like it's not that hard for people to find out how to apply for these new units that are coming on. I know from my own experience, the different organizations and our community partners that are involved in this do everything they can to make sure everybody has access. Even if you don't speak English, we make sure that everybody has the same access and the same information, so that they can be able to make some informed decisions. All right, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I see there's a very exciting opportunity with Dr. T. So can you tell us who Dr. T is and how Dr. T, who's a nationally known speaker, is coming to Santa Cruz? So can you tell us about that? Yes,
sure. I was about a couple of weeks into my role as the executive director, and one of my board members had shared with me that she thought that I would be interested in meeting this woman called Dr. T. And so I Googled her, and I was like, wow, she speaks my language. And one of the things she was really focused on was about changing the narrative. And I was like, okay, she's speaking my language. I need to reach out to her, which I did. I feel like I'm one of her groupies now. Because it's the narrative I've noticed that is continually getting in our way of building homes. It's one of the biggest barriers to being able to move something forward. And when I reached out to Dr. T and she invited me to some of her workshops, her words just really landed and resonated with me. What case are we really trying to make? And the narratives that are being shared, she reminded me that they're coming from a place of fear. Change, she said, is fear. And so I invited her. I says, well, Affordable Housing Month's coming up. This was back in December, in May, and I'd love to have you here because I think she could be a great asset to us. There's so many wonderful people in Santa Cruz County that are doing this work, and it's not just about housing. As she said, it's about housing, it's about schools, it's about food, it's about jobs, because it's all connected. I know people that have, quote unquote, great jobs and don't have a place to lay their head. That's not healthy. Having a safe, stable home also means being able to have a healthy body, a healthy mind, healthy foods, healthy relationships. And this goes for not just our children, but adults as well. And so, I kept reaching out to Dr. T, and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. But I was like, okay, I can't wait. And what I've asked her to do is to help uplift us. Not saying we're down, but, sometimes when you're in this work, you need that recharge. And her words always recharge me, and that's why I go to her workshops, and I also go back to her workshops and just listen to them. So because of the work I'm doing, I have to stay charged, right? And so I believe the work that we're doing in Santa Cruz County, and Dr. T coming here and supporting us, and as she says, stand in our boldness, will be a great asset to Affordable Housing Month. So she'll be here on May 11th, and we're going to do a workshop from 1:30 to 4. And then from 4 to 6, it'll be open to the public, and she'll be a keynote, and she's just going to really drill down into what is it the case we're trying to make, and how can we do this together? Everybody in this room, how can we do it together? So I'm very excited. So I invite people to go to our website, housingsanacruzcounty.com, and sign on up.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, I see the title is Reimagining Issues That Determine Our Future in Santa Cruz County.
And that's
Wow.
it. Let's shift from no to yes. Let's shift from me to we. Let's reimagine it. What would it be like if we can walk down the street and people are not laying in the doorways? What would that look like? What would that feel like? Mm-hmm. Everybody, and deserves to have a place to call home.
Yes.
I'm born and raised in New York City. And growing up, my father, we get up on Saturday mornings and we get on the subway and we go to Macy's, and I would think, oh, we get new clothes. And he'd get these undershirts and stuff, and I'd be like, well, Daddy, those are not going to fit us. When we would leave the store, we'd go around the corner, and the clothes were for the people sleeping in the cardboard boxes. He taught me early on to never judge, because we don't know how that person got there. But what I do know is everybody deserves a roof over their head, a safe roof over their head, not something where they're just laying their head, then they got to leave, right? They deserve to have that stability, because without that stability causes anxiety, causes health issues, right? Whether it's emotional issues, physical issues. And I know this is 2023. We can make a change. I know we can.
Yes.
I believe we can.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Powerful words. I'm eager to hear the second half of this story. You're listening to K-Squid if you're just tuning in and wondering who is that powerful voice. That's Elaine Johnson, Executive Director of Housing Santa Cruz County, and she's speaking with Janet Quinn here at K-Squid. I'm Howard Feldstein, the Program Director, proud to bring you this program today and these guests, and I want to welcome Rachel Ann Goodman to our airwaves for just a moment to remind you that it's our spring fundraiser for this community radio station that brings you powerful programming just like this. And you can do that by calling 831-900-5773 or making a safe and secure donation online at ksqd.org. So let's get back to these voices. Elaine and Janet, take it away.
Yeah, so we were just talking about reimagining issues that determine our future in Santa Cruz County, a very exciting event with Dr. T, afternoon event that includes lunch, and you can register through the website of Housing Santa Cruz County. So I'm very impressed with all of the different organizations and events that are going to be happening throughout the month of May. I mean, there's a bike tour,
Yes.
There's architects, there's even a happy hour. So can you tell us more about some of these other events? There's groundbreaking for current building projects.
Yes. Housing Authority will be doing a groundbreaking, and Mid-Penn Housing will also be doing a groundbreaking as well. I believe Mid-Penn's is on the 19th, and the Housing Authority is on the 30th. And those are exciting because, see, it's seeing these things happen in action that keeps you going, that encourages you that we can build. Because whether it's one home, 50 homes, 52 homes, 1,000 homes, someone's going to have a place to call home. right? And so, so I'm excited about a couple of those groundbreakings. We're going to have a mayor's panel where all the mayors from the different jurisdictions will come together, and we'll be talking about the housing element, which is a big topic in the county, the big topic actually in the state of California.
And what is the housing element?
It has to do with, each jurisdiction has to produce a certain number of houses between now and 2031. And they're big numbers. And one of the things Santa Cruz County is doing is we're supporting the individual jurisdictions. How can we work with them to meet these numbers? Are the numbers realistic? And how can we work together to bring them to fruition, whether that's having relationships with the developers, close partnerships with city managers, city planners, the developers. It takes everybody to be able to make these things happen. And the state has says that these are the numbers that you have to meet. And so what can we do in these next 8 years to make sure that happens throughout Santa Cruz County? Mm-hmm. So it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I invite people to join any commissions that has that focus. So get the county and the community has been very open about inviting the community to come and have a voice.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So it looks like the event is called the Housing Squeeze. Santa Cruz County's elected leaders tell us about how they're responding.
Yes.
On Thursday, May 18th, from 7 till 8:15.
Yes.
And that's a virtual event, I believe.
That is. Yes.
Yeah. But we'll be hearing from Santa Cruz Mayor Fred Keeley, Scotts Valley Mayor Jack Dills, Capitola Mayor Margot Kieser, and County Board of Supervisors Vice Chair Justin Cummings. So, and also Watsonville Mayor Eduardo Montesino.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that'll be an amazing discussion.
Yes.
So there's a lot going on. And can you tell us about Mid-Penn Housing? Is that a housing development company? How does that work?
Yes, they're a development organization. They've been around for years, and they do absolutely amazing work, not just in Santa Cruz County, all over California, in building homes and building affordable homes. And they've been a partner of ours for years. And so I'm very impressed with their work, their leadership. They're game changers. Mm-hmm. They're one of the game changers. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So they're, it says Jesse Street groundbreaking.
Yes.
Yeah. And
which is on the 19th.
The 19th on Friday. Yeah. So all of these events can be found out through the Housing Santa Cruz County website.
That is correct.
All right. And so I was just noticing that there's other things, like there's happy hour with Workbench.
Yes.
And what can you tell us about the Workbench? Is that another architectural firm or affordable housing group?
They're a developer, and they're actually also a fiscal sponsor, run by Sibley Simon, who's also a great leader in the community. They do great work, have a very strong vision of building homes here throughout Santa Cruz County and in the Bay Area as well. But yeah, it's nice to bring people together. Mm-hmm. We're all doing this amazing work, and it's nice to come together. I say pause, but everybody's going to talk about housing anyways, right? But it's nice for people to come together. We get to meet each other. It's the different people that are doing this work, and then we invite other people to come join us, right? Because this work takes a village. Right, and the village needs to continue to grow and grow and grow because, this community continues to grow, which means we need more housing, which means we need more people to be support, be able to be available for like different meetings, city council meetings, being on commissions, partnering with city managers and stuff. I'm a true believer in relationships. That's my New York upbringing. Everything is relational, and learning that, growing up, in a housing project myself, there was a lot of narratives around that too. If you were in a housing project, meant these things, and they weren't positive things. And I'll say this until the cows jump over the moon, that those narratives are not the truth. I tell people, don't focus on the building, focus on the people in the buildings, right? They're people just like you and I. And so, it's all of us bringing our experiences, bringing our upbringings, bringing our passions, on bringing out good, solid change in Santa Cruz County. And I'm pleased with our leaders of this community. I have deep-rooted relationships with a lot of people in this community from all walks, and I think a lot of that's my New York upbringing too. I just love people, and I know it takes us working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. And then I noticed too that there's also there's events connected with Housing Matters.
Yes.
Around the importance of supportive housing.
Yes.
Which is, there's a new development that at the site of the Calvary Church that'll be
Yes.
supportive housing, and that's discussion regarding that, and that's Wednesday, May 10th. And then there's also affordable housing panel discussion at the downtown Santa Cruz Library.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what can you tell us about those events? That's the end of May
Yes.
30th. Yeah.
Yes. Housing Matters is another one of our partners. I work closely with Phil and Mayor and their team, and they do amazing work as well. And I'm grateful that they're supporting, stepping up this month as well, and sharing with the community what they've been doing, what's going on, what the future looks like, because again, I always find it best if you want to know an answer to a question, ask the person who's working in it. And so, they'll be speaking about what they're doing, what the future holds, and how people can get involved and support it. And as far as the library, I can't say enough about the library. They have been a partner of ours for the whole Affordable Housing Month. And so they'll be putting on a panel, I'm actually going to be on that panel with Dr. Robert Ratner and a couple of our colleagues. And again, we're going to talk about the future, right? Which is right now. The future is right now, right? The future is right now. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Great. So you've spent your life since an early age working on, creating positive changes in the community. So what is it that inspires you, that keeps you going? What progress do you see?
I think it starts where I came from. I'm born and raised in the Bronx, New York City. And, I've seen a lot growing up. New York City's not Santa Cruz. And so I just learned early on, growing up in a housing project where we all had each other's backs. When a lot of us was experiencing food insecurities, clothes insecurities, some of our parents weren't available. And so I learned early on that your community will have your back and that anything is possible. And I want to share a brief story. When I grown up in the housing projects, when we first moved in, the only thing that was across the street was a playground, and that's why I think open space. I think is really important because that playground saved a lot of our lives, right? And then as we got older, the fields that were across the street, they started building homes, but one of the things I noticed was the people who lived in those homes never walked through the projects. And one day I asked the young girl, I says, "How come you don't walk through the projects?" And she had that narrative that bad things happen in the projects. And I just want to say I invited her in, and before you knew it, she was playing double dutch with us. She was playing hopscotch with us. We were doing all kinds of things. And I share that to say it's so important that this is why I do this work. Because I know that I'm not here to change people's minds. That I'm not here to do that. I'm here to support people to own what they really want, right? To really own what you want. Because I know a lot of people that want housing, but I think we get in our own way. And I want to support us to not get in our own way. I love people. It's my dad instilled that in me. I absolutely love people. And my father taught me early on about service. And he told me, whatever I do, don't judge. Don't judge. And I get that. When I moved to Santa Cruz from New York, it wasn't quite what I planned. And there was a time where I was almost unhoused. And it scared me. So we have to have love and compassion for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Elaine.